I am here. Not because I want to be, but because I have sacrificed myself for the greater good. And what might that be? Oh, it may be a response to this. So yes, that is right. I am now going to be doing a scathing review of the Disney Channel original movie, How to Build a Better Boy, starring people such as Kelly Berkland and Cheyenne McClain. So if you want to see me do this movie commentary, make sure to like, comment, and subscribe, and click that bell notification so you don't miss out on when I post. And without further ado, ruining my chances to ever be hired by Disney or other corporations it has absorbed. So, if you know nothing about this movie, How to Build a Better Boy, I'll give you a brief synopsis. There is a real boy does something stupid, therefore they have to build a better boy, a robotic boy who happens to be US military equipment. So, yes, let's start off. So we start off the movie in media res, okay? It's a very cool way to do it. And basically they're like, you are in so much trouble. Do you know what you've done? And I'm like, how are they supposed to know that what they would do would activate government equipment if you've told them that you work for video games? If you tell them you work for the government, they'll stay out of your stuff. So we cut to back at the beginning. It's a very good place to start. And Cheyenne McClain and Kelly Berkland are taking a test. They finished the test, and it's time for them to go and do something. So Kelly Berkland's character, she's going to go and tutor somebody. And no, oh my gosh, not Noah Centinegro. Oh, I mean Noah Centineo, whatever it is. But you know, I always call him Noah Centinegro. I don't know why, but it is what it is. So Mans is football player, and he's not doing so well in his studies, and so he's, you know, getting tutored. And so he is like, you know what are you doing on the homecoming dance? The same homecoming as this week. She's like, oh, me and my friends, my group of clique girls, we have to figure it out. No, in good happy well, she only has one friend, which is fine, but if that's the case, then just own that. Don't be like, me and my friend girls, my girls friends. And you know what, in this role, Noah Centinegro, you know, he's even more emotionally unavailable than he was when he was playing Jesus on The Fosters, so win-win, a perfect boy, a perfect love interest. Not. Okay. Also, something that I thought was really interesting was that literally 2/3 of the True Jackson VP trio are in this movie. One, we got Ashley Aragata as the mean cheerleader girl, Nevaeh, which is heaven backwards, and Matt Shively. After this, for some reason, well, not for some reason, because Jaden actually was flirting with her, Noah Centineo's character. And so she was out there in the hallway talking to Cheyenne McClain, screaming, oh my gosh, Jaden texted me. Girl, we are in the middle of a high school. Why are you not whispering? See, that's a lesson. Disney was trying to teach you something. Okay, you know what it is? Loose lips sink what? Ships. Loose lips sink ships. Shh. And then, okay, this really irritated me. But so basically he texted her and like he couldn't spell, he had bad grammar. He was like, I can't wait to see you later, Lader. And she's like, oh, I can't wait to meet you there, Their. Like, girl, why are you dumbing yourself down for a man? We do not do that over here. Not in this household. Not in 2021. Now, who knows what they did in 2018? I'm not gonna get into that, never mind. But we basically need to build up how trash of a character Noah Centinegro's character is. And, of course, you can't have a trash male love interest without his name, what? Starting with Jay. Oh yeah, Jaden. Annoying. So, Kelly Berkland's character is out there to, you know, fall in love and on the field. And then Nevaeh, because she caught wind of it, because she overheard, she's like, sweetie, you thought. And then Jaden is like, yeah, you really thought I'm going with Nevaeh. Like, you are so weak. Like, how can you not stand in your manness and admit that you like Kelly Berkland's character? And I don't want to hear it, no, he was embarrassed. He was shocked. He didn't know what to do. He is literally the quarterback of the football team. He is literally at the top. Can nobody tell him what to do? Not even the teachers, not even the coach. He is head honcho. He runs the school. So you can't tell me that, oh, he didn't want to shake any tables. He didn't want to do too much. He can do whatever he wants. That's the perk of being the QB. And so then sis, because she's being embarrassed by Nevaeh, she's like, well, I don't need to worry about you because I have a whole man whose name is Albert. you're gonna pick a man. Can you at least give him, I don't know, a name? You know, like Michael, Daniel, Charles. You know, something, you know, that hints at possibly being attractive, not Albert. No offense to people who are watching this who may possibly be named Albert. So Matt Shively is playing Kelly Burkland's big brother. His name is Bart. And I really don't like this because it's just really disgusting. Well, not disgusting, but it's like weird. Because they basically make Bart a love interest for Cheyenne McClain. But like, Matt Shively's so freaking old. He's almost a decade older than her. And like, this movie was filmed like while she was still a teen and while he was not a teen. So I'm like, who approved this? I mean, they're not kissing. So I mean, it's okay, but it's also like, Matt Shively, he can't play high school anymore. He couldn't play high school, you know, at that time at all. So they made a mistake casting him. I mean, now to be fair, he was the best actor. He was the best character. Oh my gosh, he was hilarious, especially when he was like, I did not know that my dad, get here ASAP, as soon as possible. My dad works for the government. Like, it was hilarious. Also, it was so annoying when they were foreshadowing, when they're like, we're gonna talk to this because your dad works for video games, not the DOD, cut to undercover lab for the DOD. This is another thing. I keep forgetting this. Every time I watch this movie, I forget. I always think that Spencer Bowman is Albert, but it's not. Spencer Bowman is the guy from Zapped. Now that's a whole entire story of how they basically styled Spencer Bowman to look like Valentin Smirkovsky because Zendaya and Val were dance partners on Dancing with the Stars. You can't tell me they didn't style him to look like that because they most definitely did. But that's besides the point. Now, this is where I'm going to shake the table, or where I'm going to infer that Disney was trying to shake the table. So they're trying to build a perfect guy, and they're trying to do like a profile or something, and they really think that they're just, you know, doing stuff in video game software, but they're actually activating this robot who is going to be able to be cloaked in human form so that he can, you know, disguise, you know. And so it first comes up is mind, body, and soul ratings, 0 to 100%. And what do they say? Go big or go home. So they turn up all the scales of mind, body, and soul to 100% for this dude that they're going to build, for Albert. And already the system starts what? Crashing. As if even through technology, that's not possible. I'm just picking up what they put down. And once again, while Kelly Burkland is continuing to describe her ideal man, the system's like overloading, crashing. We can't do this. He's too perfect. It's not possible, even with science. And also, girl, I'm like, she's describing things like, he's kind, he's sweet, he's cute, but he doesn't know he's cute. When he smiles at me, the world will sing. I was like, girl, how can you program this? Like, I don't think changing out the semicolon for a comma is going to do all of that. I don't care how many if-then loops you do, you're not getting that. Now, side note, oh my gosh, this wallpaper here, this is this iconic wallpaper. It's in their living room, just like it is in Kevin V's living room. It's literally in every movie ever. And like, as soon as I'm showing this to you, you'll see it. So I think this is part of their formula. Give us Kelly Burkland and Cheyenne McClain. Give us sexy wallpaper. And now, give us a good song at the end, and you have a perfect movie, a blockbuster movie. How can it not succeed? So now, next day, they're arriving at school, and all of a sudden, people are like, ha ha ha, your man Albert like followed us on like all types of social media, and they're like, what? Because we didn't do that. And then Albert pulls up, dripped down, whipped out, pulling up in the Maserati, trying to catch a body. And everyone's like, oh my God. And then, oh my gosh, Albert was so annoying. I'm not even gonna front. Like, this dude was really annoying. Like, literally, So when Nevaeh's like, so is May your girlfriend, you know, Kelly Burkland's character? And Albert's like, no. And he's like, it's more than that. You know that. When you meet the one, and your eyes and your emotions, and you'd be anything. And I'm just like, how did they program a robot to say all this? Make it make sense. I cannot. And then, oh my gosh, this girl right here, She's kind of my fave. Like, literally, I was like, girl. She's like, Albert's not any boy. He's like, you know what I mean? And they're like, totally. And she does that like twice before finally at the end when she says something eloquent and everyone's like, oh yeah, full circle. You know, I love full circle. I have to admit that, Disney, I love full circle and I love when you did that. So please hire me in the future. So now, because it's a Disney romance, or it's just a Disney movie in general, we have to cue the montage. And then they end up singing, I love you like a love song, baby. How much did they pay for these royalties? Oh, Selena Gomez and the scene collected a check. Or at least I hope they did. Or maybe the writers did. The writers of the song, they probably collected a check, not Selena Gomez and the scene. I don't know how copyright law works. In this montage, you know, this is when China McClain's character starts to get ignored by May and Albert. And it's like really annoying to me because May, you wouldn't even have this man's without Albert. And this contributes to one of my biggest grievances. The second biggest grievance. And this grievance is using black girls. And I'll get into that later because there's more evidence later to present about that. But anywho, now, once again, Jaden, Noah's Centenegro, is looking at May and Albert like, how dare she pop out with a man who's emotionally ready and vulnerable and ready to love her out in the open? How dare she not be with me? Child, if you don't go somewhere and learn how to throw a ball, y'all have a game coming up. A homecoming game, mind you. Now, the only concession I will make to like against China's character is like, China had all these plans for May that May never really consented to. China was like, oh, we're the end game, we're the team. You know, I'm gonna be the president, you're gonna be my vice. We're gonna rule the world. Boys weren't in our plan. And China, May's like, boys weren't in your plan, sis. Which is fair, like, it's not fair of a friendship for you to expect things from her that you've never, like, established. And that was one thing that China had to, like, figure out and work through. But, yeah, that's the only flaw. That's the only thing I will give against China. Oh, and also when China had May convinced that Jane didn't like her. But other than that, China is a victim. And now, because it's not already too complex, and they've already developed totally different plot lines, May and Albert's relationship, and May and China and McClain's character's relationship. But we need more drama. So we need more enemies. Enter Black Sigma, a group trying to steal Albert away from the US government. And so they pop up at the house, find the information, blow the machine back up, blow the computer information back up after Bart had already spent like 2 days trying to fix it. Then they pop up at the high school trying to find Albert. Albert knocks out one of them, but then Black Sigma is like, we have to release a pulse. And then the pulse takes Albert down, but somehow he gets out. But anyway, before Albert even encounters Black Sigma, May rolls in with Albert, and not just Albert, but that girl who can't speak and her friend and like some other girls. Like now May has a crew. And now I'm gonna talk about the disrespect towards China and McClain's character, okay? So do you wanna know what happened? Okay, so one of the girls pulls up, so some of May's entourage pulls up, and they're just all of a sudden at China like, find us a man, do this for us. I want this from a man, that from a man. And it's like, once again, all these white girls are telling this black girl to find the men to be used to provide a service to improve the livelihood of white girls. We as black women are not just devices for you to find success, okay? If you want to find a man, you go out there and you search for your own man, okay? It's not my job. And it's not China and McClain's job. And it's not black women's job in general. We are not here to serve you. And I really didn't like when Disney did that, okay? It was rude. It was rude and stupid. I could tell there wasn't a black body in that editing room because they didn't want to let that pass. Or maybe, you know, I'm just too, you know. Yeah, but once again, the only reason China's there is to what? Progress the main character. Like literally, once again, China created Albert for May. Like literally. May didn't even ask if China wanted a man. And this is where May, Kelly Berklin's character, starts to get really annoying because China's trying to tell her that, you know, Albert is a robot. And May's like, but Albert loves me. He's a robot! What do you not understand about that? A robot cannot love you. And hey, robots, if you're watching this from 200 years from now, yes, you can. Yada yada, cut to the U.S. government flooding the fields. Everyone has to escape. Once again, Kelly Birkland and China McClain are talking way too loud, and Ashley Argata hears their conversation, and it's like, girl, have you not learned? And so then, once again, when they recover Kelly Birkland and China McClain, the U.S. government is like, you have ruined the mission. You have interfered with the U.S. government Department of Defense. You stop now. Albert has gone to his original mission of saving children and building houses and providing clean water. And all of a sudden, May's like, Albert wouldn't do that. He loves me. He's been programmed to love you. What's not clicking? What's not clicking? Sis, are you not embarrassed? This is embarrassing, no? And you know what? Maybe this is me reading too much into this, but I think that this is one showing how women have tricked themselves into being delusional about men. Because what? She does not understand that this robot who has been programmed to love her does not actually love her. She has deluded herself into thinking that Albert loves her. That's deep. I'm not trying to have no smart house situation. I'm really not. So now, we're getting to the last scene, the homecoming scene. And even though they said Albert was saving people, he has to come back because once again, he's been programmed to love May and to kiss May at homecoming. So that he shows up. So then the U.S. government's like, we're gonna take him back. Then May's dad's like, no, you're not. I want my daughter to have, a good life. And so then the general and May's dad are like planning how to give May the perfect kiss through Albert. And I'm like, this feels very icky. This feels very, if you want my daughter, give me 50 cows. That's what it's giving. I don't like it. So then also, side note, we have to be honest that Nevaeh really only wants Jaden, Noah Centinegro, for popularity. But finally, Noah's like, I cannot be with you. I want to be with May. And he leaves her. And then also, then Albert shows up talking to Gabby, China and McClain, like, Gabby, you can't know everything and I love May. Where is Gabby's Corvette? Okay, she hooked y'all up. You should be giving her a Corvette, a mansion, $1 million, whatever she wants. All of a sudden, y'all trying to do all this, all that. I mean, you should cut it. Cut it, because none of y'all be happy without my girl Gabby. Ooh, bars. Also, I love the costume choice to have all of May's clique end up in polka dots, and then for May to ask about it and address it, and then that furthers the conversation for May to realize that she's changing. She's not who she was, before. Now she's realizing that, like, having a boy or the perfect boy does not bring her fulfillment. Like, this was not what she wanted. She didn't want a clique, okay? She didn't want to be Queen Bee. Also, side note, when those two kids came out of the dance and the government was like, you better get back in there, Disney. What y'all doing, Disney? What y'all doing, Disney? So at the end, Ashley makes a scene like, I should be queen. You don't even know about Albert. Albert's a robot. And then finally, the girl who's like, ugh, she probably says something eloquent, like I said before, it's amazing. And then Ashley's still trying to expose Albert. So she's like, Albert is dangerous. And then finally, Noah Centinegro does something cool. Finally, he, does what he needs to do. And he's trying to, diffuse the situation. So he's like, dangerous. And then Ashley's like, he's a machine. Jane's like, a machine. And then she's like, if he comes near you, you better get down. Jane's like, get down. And I'm like, you know what? I kind of vibe. But also, going back, because now China and McClain realizes that Jaden actually did love May. And so China's like, I feel kind of bad. But also, sis, don't feel bad because if Jaden really wanted her, then he would have been mature enough to go and ask her out, okay? Especially since you rule the school. You have the highest position of power in the school as a student. Like, literally, no one can beat you. If someone cured cancer, you'd still be #1 in the school. You can do whatever. There's no restrictions. I mean, now it'd be different if, it was like Bratz, the movie, where, you weren't running the school. Chelsea Kane. Back then, Chelsea Staub was. Okay, and then China Ann McClain and Kelly Birkland make up. Good for them, I guess. The power of friendship's always been a good thing. I just don't think it was addressed that well or anything was really established or accomplished. It was like, I realized that you've changed. Yeah. Like, that is not going to help the audience watching this, which are predominantly preteen girls. It's not gonna help them at all. And then it's, the time for the final dance. And you know what? Maybe, I'm not giving them enough credit, but I seriously doubt those boys that started that turned around at the beginning were the ones singing that song, because that song had way too much flavor for those people to have been singing that song. That song was moving. That song was, yes. There's no way that those people were singing it. I need to see them sing it now in person. Exactly. Okay, so I'm not a film major, but like these shots are so cute. Like, it feels very ethereal and very princessy, how the light just, creates a silhouette. Like, I'm not a film major, but oh my gosh, what a great decision. Oh, it's so cute. Love it. So anywho, May and Albert are about to kiss, but then May's like, I don't want to kiss you. And this is when the message really gets sunk into your head. She's like, even though you're the perfect man, you're not real. You're a figment of my imagination. I created you to be perfect. I imagined what a perfect man would be, but because that's never going to be real, I need to just let you go and go for something real. And so then she self-destructs Albert. And this is where I get really upset, because the whole time it was very grounded scientifically, but when Albert self-destructed, it started feeling very magical. Like he was like swirling with purples and blues and being rocketed in outer space. And you know what? I haven't been to a rocket launch in person, but that don't happen from what I can remember. So it felt very like weird. And then he became part of the Northern Lights that then all of a sudden ended up over DC. And then here's another thing that irritated me. So then we come to find out that Noah Centinegro, Jaden, actually knows math. Like, he was pulling a Lindsay Lohan. Like, he actually knew math and was just being stupid to try and talk to May. What part of you do not need to do this when you are the head of the food chain? The top of the food chain. You can do whatever. Like, I don't understand this dude at all. Does he not know how high school works? Ugh. And then this is a line that I really hated. So at the beginning of the movie, China McClain is like, have you heard that story of the girl who met a boy and then changed the world? She's like, right, because it doesn't exist. And then at the end, China's like, have you heard that story? Dan's like, have you heard that story of the girl who met a boy and changed the world? Well, that's you, May. Shut up. This is the worst full circle ever. Like that girl, the woo girl, that was a better full circle than what that was. Okay, that was a better full circle than whatever China McClain was doing. It's time to do the analysis of the greatest song known to mankind, the anthem to end all anthems. And of course, it is the ending song called Something Real by China McClain and Kelly Birkland. And I'm going to read these lyrics and do a lyric analysis for you. Also, I'm going to get to the chorus, but this song was a little suggestive for Disney. But anywho, so Kelly starts off. I thought I knew what I wanted. Till I got it. Turned around, now the pressure's on. In the moment, I was chasing a fairy tale until I caught it. Took a leap of faith, now I'm back where I started. Now pay attention. This perfect life somehow doesn't really feel right. So she basically just said, me being happy feels wrong as a woman. And so then they say, I learned tonight that I'd trade it all your happiness for something real, for a real boy. She basically said, my life is too perfect, insert a boy. And I want that. That's what she said. It's right there in the text. That's what she said. Now this chorus is, it's so explicit. She said, I trade it all for something real, something that's raw, something that I can feel. Flaws and all. Now here's the deal. I don't want nothing unless it's something real. Yeah. If you couldn't pick up what I was putting down, yeah, you need to click off this video. But I was like, this feels very anti-toy. It is though. So like literally this secures itself as a human boy anthem. So if you watching are a human boy, then you need to be dancing to this song nonstop, because basically this has brainwashed countless of girls my age into picking you over happiness. I'm just saying. So once again, what was China saying? I used to get so caught up finding all the answers. Always like to play it smart, never taking chances. Had to see for myself to believe in magic. Yeah, no one cares. And then she said, this perfect life is an unperfect puzzle. So is it perfect or is it unperfect? Girl, you need to know. So and then Kelly's like, all along I was posing for the cameras, focused on a dream world, dreaming about the same man. Now I'm wake, and life is so much better. Let's go crazy now, all of us together, let's make. So basically, they were like, I was dreaming. Once again with Albert, perfect boy. Now I'm awake and life is better with Jaden, the guy who could not admit his emotions and feelings for me, but all of a sudden, once I popped up with the man, wanted to say he liked me. That's better, sis. That's better, sis. Ooh, I don't think so. Okay, so I am back. I'm coming from you from the future after a long day of work because I don't think I went as intense as I wanted to be. So let's just add some last thoughts, more nails in the coffin of why this movie is such a bad message. I'm kidding. Am I? So, I don't know, man. This kind of isn't like a criticism, but actually it is a criticism because I'm trying to figure out, I'm just a little bit confused because like if you've built the perfect boy, like why would you want to go back to like regular trash, Like, sis, give me the program. Like, give me the software because clearly what your program was not correct. That's all I have to say about that. Now, going back to the ending and the song, basically they're like, oh, being this perfect life doesn't feel right. Like, it doesn't feel good for me to be happy. Or the fact that it's like, oh, even though you're perfect and you're amazing, I would much rather be with Jaden, this guy who was emotionally unavailable until the very end because he was jealous that I was with someone else. And so my thing is, this is a metaphor for girls because the thing is, I mean, we're not talking about robots here. We're talking about real, imagine two humans. So imagine someone checks all the boxes, okay? They're emotionally present. They're loving you out loud in public. They're vulnerable. They can protect you. They can do all of these things. And then you have Jaden, the guy who's not emotionally unavailable. The guy who cannot protect you because he gets bullied or he's not strong enough to shake off the people that don't want him to be with you. You know what I'm saying? And so it's like, why are we, Disney, teaching girls to go for the worst option, the weaker of the two options, I'm just saying. It makes no sense. And so, also, once again, the whole thing about China against China, you just put some respect on China Emma McClain and her character's name. What's her character's name? It's not Abby. What is it? Who knows? So, last thoughts. So what are lessons that we can take away from this? 1, if you're in the government, tell your kids that you're working in the government so they don't mess with your stuff. 2, stop having all your conversations out loud because loose lips sink ships. 3, avoid dudes whose name starts with a J. I'm just kidding. I think. 4, understand that this entire movie is all just rhetoric to brainwash girls and people that like guys into being brainwashed into staying with human guys. Understand that. Don't let your friend push you around, man. If you gave her true love, you deserve a Corvette, a Cadillac, an Escalade. You deserve a bag. A finder's fee. But I don't know, man. It's weird because it's like, my thing is, it's weird because, like I mentioned before, how annoying it was when Sis couldn't get that he was a robot and that's why he loved her. And everyone's like, dude, he doesn't love you, he's a robot. I'm wondering if that rhetoric represents, like, when people, like, crap on people's relationships and it's like, oh, he's too perfect so it can't be true. and so then the girl like internalizes and thinks something's wrong. I'm wondering if that's like a little bit of that. I don't know. All I'm saying is sis should have stayed with Albert. Or she should have used this as a learning lesson to avoid Jaden. And Cheyenne McClain should have never gone with Bert, whatever his name is. Because that was weird age gap. Have I said everything? I hope I did. If not, I'll probably include something in the comments below. Well, that's it. Bye. So, at the end of the day, the two takeaways are this is a bad message for girls. If you have a man that's perfect, don't let him go because you think you're supposed to be with this guy. Don't do it. And number two, stop making black girls do all the heavy lifting. They do not serve to ensure your happiness. They deserve their own happiness as well. And number three, please don't blacklist me, Disney. That's all. So I hope you enjoyed this commentary. Maybe I'll do more, maybe I won't. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe, and click that bell notification so you don't miss out on when I post. And now all that's left to do is rock out to the best song ever created. Something real. Bye-bye.